from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. And if you want to have it all, now you can. America's go-to chef of guilt-free comfort food is with us today, Chef Devin Alexander. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
The show.
What a way to start the week, knowing I can have it all.
Yes. American Diabetes Association numbers are lower sugar, lower saturated fat, lower so many different things. So, like, there's pumpkin pie bites that 3 of them have like 4 grams of sugar in them. So I use a lot of like natural sweeteners, that are 0 calorie. Most of the book is actually it's all natural ingredients. It's not like some weird chemicalized whatever. But it basically focuses on the way to put, I use center cut bacon, for instance. It's real pork bacon, but it's 40% leaner. And I use it in small amounts to like enhance other flavors. And you're like, wow, I can eat bacon. It's playing with food in that way to make it so easy for people at home.
So I have a question. I absolutely love this, the guilt-free comfort food thing. I just am in love with this, seriously. And so Sunday is like my epic cheat day. I go crazy on Sunday. Right, it's ridiculous. And the only thing that makes me feel better is like seeing The Rock's cheat day, which is way worse. And I feel better. But then you wake up Monday and you feel terrible, mostly because of the salt for me. So what do you recommend for people like me who want to like maybe just have a day where I'm kind of like going in, but I don't want to have the salt repercussions? Because you get bloated and all things like that.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, if you're eating your traditional cheat foods out, you should see, I like hosted this show where a chef put like literally a handful of salt in pasta water.
Wow.
And you just don't need that. Like, you just don't, especially when you're enhancing other ingredients. So like I make a ranch dressing that's specifically low in salt. Because then when you put the bacon and you put all those other things, like you don't need salt on top of salt on top of salt.
Gotcha.
So that's a lot of the playing I do with things, just to keep it all balanced. And yes, you don't need the bloat. But it's amazing. Like, you look amazing, and like to do a cheat day at all. Because I can't do a cheat day. If I do a cheat day, I'll eat everything between now and no, I will. I'll eat everything that I'll miss, like that I might miss for the next week, and wind up destroying my process.
But what's masterful about what you've done is that every day essentially feels like a cheat day, because these meals are not like discipline. And that's what's beautiful about it, because nobody wants to feel like they're missing out, right? FOMO on food.
Well, right. And I actually purposely put lifestyle photos in this book. Like, I take a picnic to beach tennis all the time. So you see the picnic and you see us playing beach tennis in the background, because this is something I do with friends. Like, I would never be able to keep weight off if I was like in my house by myself, not going to parties, not having fun. And then when you go to a party, I always suggest that people bring a dish that other people will enjoy too, so that, God forbid, everything else there is a fried egg roll. Like, you have something to eat and fill up on, so you're not stuck, And like, I'm all about having like one fried egg roll, but I mean, I make these crab stuffed shrimp that literally 3 of them, like full shrimp, are 80 calories.
We need to be best friends with you and invite you in.
Right. I'd love it.
So question for people out there, someone who's, they are dealing with major health issues. They're maybe, extremely overweight. This is great, all this, but it's a little bit overwhelming. What is a simple first tip somebody can have to take away with them
Well,
today?
I think you always want to go to your doctor and really learn what you can eat, because and that's why it's called You Can Have It, because doctors will be like, don't eat this, don't eat this. And, I was once on a panel at USC at medical center, and this doctor was like, this very renowned doctor was like, oh, you can't eat red meat. And I was like, well, actually, my doctor told me that I should eat 4 ounces of red meat, in every once in a while, as long as it's a lean cut, because especially for women, like, you need and you don't want to get anemic, you need the iron and things like that. And I said, is that not true? And he's like, oh, well, people aren't going to do that. So doctors give you these extremes because they don't think you're going to eat 4 ounces of a Japanese London broil in the book, or 4 ounces of a Java roasted. Like, there's this yummy coffee rub on one of the London broils. And if you eat 4 ounces of it, it's totally fine. So instead of, like, really dig down and be like, what can I not eat? And this book, in addition to American Diabetes, there's 3 renowned doctors who've endorsed the book. So, a lot of it, I think people, they listen to that and they get so overwhelmed that they don't do anything at all. And instead, like, hunt down recipes from friends. Obviously by the book. But if you, or I mean, I just want people to get healthy. So like ask your friends what the healthy, delicious recipes are, because life is supposed to be fun. And I'm Italian, like I'm not giving up food. And so that's what I wanted to bring to people.
And you're a new mom. Congratulations.
I'm a new mom. I'm a 5-month-old.
Oh,
So.
well, you look fantastic. Is there anything you're doing differently now as, you know, you're a new mom, right? Coming off the pregnancy, is there something you have to do to adjust your diet?
Well, actually, my daughter came from foster care. So, but I do have to do a ton of things differently. Like I wasn't pregnant. But I will say, I thought I was going to be that, like, you know, you're a health expert. You're thinking like, I'm going to be that stroller mom. And then you realize like, it's not that easy. And even for me, like I did gain a few mommy pounds because, I mean, just a few.
The whole lifestyle changes.
Well, it does. And like, I found myself eating at 9:30 at night because, you know, I run a business. I'm a solo mom too. Like I chose to have a child by myself, or to, you know, acquire a child myself, I guess is the best. She's the best little blessing. But, you know, I had to adjust my whole schedule. And, you know, I used to make my dinner at 7 o'clock when I got finished work. And now it's like, oh, she needs dinner and I need to spend that time with her. So I was eating at 9 or 9:30 and I was exhausted. And, you know, as a solo mom, you can't get sick. So, but I've gotten back in my routines. I've scheduled my, you know, childcare a little bit differently so I can go back and do my stuff. And I got her this cute little beach tent so she could be with me at beach tennis. And I try to schedule that around her nap so she's just sleeping on the beach. And like, it's all that planning. But I think anybody with any sort of desire to be fit, like you do have to plan.
And would you say that's the key, that it's the planning, especially when
It
you're kids?
is. And that doesn't mean that you have to like revolve your whole life around it. You just have to figure out, you know, how to be efficient with it. So now like I make things that I can eat for a couple days, and I'm doing a lot more morphing. Like I used to make a fresh, like gourmet-ish chefy meal, you know, most nights. And now it's like, okay, well, I could make the sriracha turkey breast, and then I have my deli meat that I can chop up and put in salads or eat on a sandwich or whatever it is. So it's just simple things like that. And I should also say on my website, devinalexander.com, because some people are intimidated by cooking, through the book, it'll say, don't know how to butterfly shrimp? Go to my website. And so I have a whole series of free videos that support all of the recipes in the book.
Thank you. That's the one reason why I get scared to even open a cookbook, is I think that is too advanced for me. You lost me at cookbook, but it makes it so accessible.
Yeah, well, and the truth is, butterflying shrimp is like you cut, you know, one slit down the back and flatten it. Like, that's all it is. But it sounds like so fancy.
It sounds so
And then like you mix like 5 ingredients with crab and you put it on top and you throw it in the oven. Like it's that easy to make something that elaborate. So, and as I said, like anybody at a party is going to think like you rocked it.
Amazing.
It's one of the things I love most about your approach is that it is fun and it's easy and it's effortless. And I think that's a huge invitation for most people. That's what makes it so appealing. When you started, did you feel like it? Did you know there was going to be a fun, easy, effortless approach to all this, or something you discovered along the way?
No, that was essential because, as I said, I was so stuck. Like I was yo-yo dieting as a kid, and it wasn't until that I found the fun in it. And I heard that if you cut just 100 calories from your diet per day, on average, you'll lose 10 pounds. And so that turned it into a game, like this thing that was like, literally weighing me down. And then when I was able to do that, and at first I white knuckled it some, but now seriously, like my friends would be so mad if they came to my house and I had fattening food, because they know like everything I make all the time, even for entertaining, is, I mean, I had a whole launch party for the book, and like there's even cocktails in there. Like there's this passionilla cocktail that you make from passion flavored tea, like this strong, you double brew it, and then you put some citron liqueur in it, and it's delicious.
And you can have it.
Right, you can have it. You really can.
Oh, we're gonna have to get together and have some tea cocktails.
Come on over to my kitchen.
Fun.
I would love it.
So where can people find you?
DevinAlexander.com, and I'm of course on Facebook and Instagram as Devin Alexander, Devin.
Thank you for making this world so delicious and so guilt-free.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I love
We'll
it.
be back with more on Good Morning LaLa, and stay tuned.